Whenever you think about becoming a potential scientist, one of the things that you don't really consider is that you might be unalived or disappeared one day for, various reasons. But that seems to be a common occurrence or maybe a very coincidental thing here lately. And it would be one thing if it was just random scientists, but they seem to be tied to a few interesting things. Like, say, for instance, the 47-year-old MIT plasma physicist that liked to dabble in fusion, fusion expert. It's no big deal. But apparently he lived in a bad part of town, as most MIT plasma physicists do, and was shot dead at his home. Or, for instance, take 67-year-old Carl, the Caltech astrophysicist that was also into exoplanet research and also finding life on other planets. Once again, one of those things that ties them together is them living in the wrong part of town because they were shot dead on their front porch. Crazy, but not all of them are getting taken out by people who seemingly have no motivation to actually attack these people. No, you got people like Jason Thomas, the chemical biological researcher that ended up going missing but was recovered in some random ass lake in Massachusetts after a few months. So that's, but they said there was no foul play. There was no foul play, so there's nothing to worry about. But we'll get to the people that are just missing, and one of those being Monica Rizzo, the 60-year-old aerospace materials scientist who like invented her own freaking alloy, which is pretty freaking cool. However, she was out on a little hike with her yogi instructor whenever he got ahead by about 30 foot, decided he was going to cut right over the hill, yelled back and told her, and whenever he made it about halfway down, he looked back and she was gone. Now, we all know with the missing 411 cases, people can just up and disappear in the woods, so they went out and searched for her for quite a few days whenever they decided, you know what, maybe she's just not here. However, she's still listed as a missing person, but they did find her beanie a little bit further down the trail to the left, so they're thinking maybe she just cut back into the forest and disappeared forever, even though she was only 30 foot away. So who knows what happened to her. It is kind of coincidental that she was kind of like mixed in with the next person we're going to talk about, and that would be retired Air Force Major General William Neal McCaslin, who happened to go out on a little hike, even though coincidentally he left behind his wallet and his cell phone, but he did take a 38 revolver, so there is that. But if you're curious what he was into, he previously commanded the Air Force Regional Laboratory at, you're not going to guess this, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And if you're into UFOs or aliens at all, you're going to know that this is a very suspicious place, to say the least. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for some people, went missing on his little hike. However, there is this one little curiosity with all of that, and that would have been that his wife some time ago wrote a song about him getting abducted by aliens and disappearing, which is crazy, but she was pretty tore up about the whole thing. She got over it pretty quick, or at least had herself really composed. I'm not going to say that she was over it, but she was extremely composed. Anyways, what it comes down to is if you're considering going into the scientific field, make sure that it has nothing to do with aerospace, space, aliens, UFOs, or anything of that sort, because you might just go disappearing. Except for that one guy, he was bioengineering, but he was doing cancer research, and we all know that they just get them out of there as soon as they come up with a cure. Allegedly. Allegedly. Anyways, I thought that was pretty interesting, and I had to dive into it a little bit because I keep seeing it pop up, and I thought you all would find that interesting. If I'm missing some information, pray tell. I would love to know, or if I got something wrong, be sure to let me know. With that being said, if you did enjoy it or you enjoy fun things like this, or not really fun, but if you enjoy things that are curious, be sure to give me a follow. It'd be cool. I'd love it. Yeah. Okay. I hope you all have a great day. Bye.